Quick question. If the Red Sox were cursed for 86 years for trading Babe Ruth to the Yankees for $100,000, how long do they deserve to be cursed for trading away Mookie Betts, David Price, Chris Sale, and Rafael Devers? All three of these trades have turned out to be complete disasters. The 6 players the Red Sox received in return who have played for the big league team have combined for 10.6 WAR, while the 4 players who were dealt away have combined for 46.1 WAR over that same time. Combine these with the general unwillingness to invest in the team by ownership, and the general optimism surrounding the franchise is incredibly low. About a month into the 2026 season, that optimism isn't getting any better. The team has struggled early on and currently sit at last place in the AL East. Through 26 games, the team is last in MLB in home runs and second to last only to the Mets in OPS. Meanwhile, starting pitchers Garrett Crochet and Brayan Bello have struggled through their first few starts. If things don't change soon, the Red Sox risk letting yet another season slip away before we even hit Memorial Day weekend. What is up, guys? Welcome back into the channel. I'm Brandon Satterwhite, and today we are doing the Boston Red Sox rebuild. This is one I've had quite a few requests to do, even back when we were still on MLB The Show 25. And with how the Red Sox have been playing throughout the first few weeks of the season, I figured now is a good time to hop in and do a little rebuild. Now, how they're rated in the game does not represent how they're playing in real life. Here you can see in the game, they're the 5th best rated team in the game, 4th in contact, 20th in power, 3rd in pitching, 1st in defense, 7th in speed, and 2nd in the farm system. I mean, they're a very highly rated team. They do very well in simulation, but I don't think that really reflects, where they're at currently. I don't think they're really, the team right now, if you listen to Red Sox fans, they were not very optimistic going into this season. I mean, their big pickup in the offseason was Ranger Suarez, which, yeah, he's a really good starter, but they really needed some help with the lineup, and like outside of Wilson Contreras, I don't know that they really added any, power to that lineup, and that's really where they've been struggling. Like I said, they're last in home runs, second to last to the Mets in OPS. Just most of the guys in their lineup just have had really slow starts to the season. They're last place in the American League. The Yankees just came in and swept them, so that was a fun series to watch. But yeah, we're gonna hop in, and even though I'm a Yankees fan, it's gonna hurt me. We are going to try and help the Red Sox win a World Series here. Before we do anything, let's go take a look at the roster here. And the starting pitching, at least in game, is really, really good here. You have Garrett Crochet, who in real life, like we said, struggled a bit through his first few starts. 99 overall, Cy Young contender, had a phenomenal season his first year in Boston last year. He's on this long-term contract, $28 million a year actually for a 99 overall starter. Not bad. I mean, you think about, Scooble's probably going to get, close to $40 million a year this offseason. So, having a pitcher as good as him at only 26 years old is incredible. He'll be our ace throughout this entire rebuild. They did bring in Ranger Suarez from Philly, who, has been incredibly consistent over the last 4 years, 25 or so starts every year, ERA around 350, about 150 innings and 150 strikeouts a year, 2.5 to 3, 4 WAR even, 88 overall, really good lefty. He's 30 years old. We're going to be paying him $26 million a year for 5 years, so he'll be here throughout this entire rebuild unless he struggles and we decide to trade him. Sonny Gray, brought in from St. Louis, after, some all right years there, nothing amazing, but still an 87 overall at 36 years old. I figure he's going to regress heavily throughout this first season. If so, we may look to trade him. Brayan Bello, he does not do well in simulation in this game. He's not doing well in real life either, but he does not simulate very well. He had a really good 2025, 28 starts, a 3.35 ERA. The whip's just a little high, but I think overall pretty good. He's on a long-term, very cheap deal. B potential at 26 years old. I think he develops all right. I think he'll develop all right. We'll see how he does in simulation. But behind him, we've got Connolly Early, who will probably start out as our number 5 starter, number 3 prospect for the Red Sox, number 40 overall prospect. I think he will probably be our number 5 starter, and then Peyton Toll will probably start coming out of the bullpen, maybe. I don't know, because Early doesn't have the velocity that Toll has. Also, Toll is like higher rated as a prospect, but maybe he needs a little bit more time to develop. I don't know. Either of these guys could be a good number 5 starter for us. And then down here, you've got 3 guys who are kind of past their primes. I don't know, because Cutter Crawford and Tanner Hoke, only 29 years old, both of them. You know, Crawford had, a really good 2023 and all right 2024. He's 29 years old with B potential. He might continue to develop. We do have 2 more years of arbitration for him. Tanner Hoke, did good back in 2024, injured throughout 2025. He's a 73 overall with B potential here. Like Crawford, we have 2 years of arbitration on him at 29 years old, so we'll see what happens with him. And then you have Patrick Sandoval here at 29 years old as well. So 3 29-year-old starters here that are like kind of, what are we doing? What are we going to do with these guys? Are we just going to throw them in the bullpen? Are we going to trade them? What are we looking at here? He is a free agent after this year, so a really good chance we end up trading him. Also have Kyson Witherspoon here, our number 4 prospect with C potential. Maybe he develops into something. In the bullpen, you do have Garrett Whitlock, who's a very good reliever. He's actually having an all right start to the season. You've got Danny Colomb here, who got traded for last year. Has had some pretty good season. He's been a really solid reliever. We'll see how he continues to play at 36 years old. Beyond that, not much. So that's why I'm looking at, Crawford, Hoke, possibly Sandoval being hopefully decent relievers for us. Closer, Aroldis Chapman, man, what a job he did to kind of revive his career. He left the Yankees, I think in 2023. Did we trade him or did he leave in free agency? I can't remember where he was at, but he, was a really good closer for us for a long time. And then left after, some pretty rough postseason performances. Went to Pittsburgh, did all right, not great, but last year, man, 32 saves in 67 appearances, a 1.17 ERA, 85 strikeouts. He's now sitting at 367 career saves at 38 years old. He's still just firing that fastball, triple digits every night. So he'll be our closer at least for this first season. We'll see what happens to him with regression. That is something we will have to address long term. At catcher, you have Carlos Narvaez here, who had a decent 2025, 27 doubles, 15 homers, a 725 OPS. He's really good behind the plate, really good fielding ability. We'll see if, better options present themselves. And then behind him, you have Connor Wong, who of course came over in was it the Mookie Betts trade? Yeah, it was the Mookie, or was it? Yeah, it was the Mookie Betts trade, yeah. But he's been all right. He's 68 overall, doesn't really do a whole lot great anymore. So don't really know if he's going to be in the long-term plans. Wilson Contreras, kind of the only bat that the team brought in the offseason after 3 decent seasons over in St. Louis, to play first base. He is what he is at this point in his career. He's a 20 to 25 homer guy, 33 years old. We'll see what happens with him. I figure he'll regress pretty heavily throughout this first season. And then after that, we'll look to trade him because I do not want to pay him $17.5 million a year if he's going to keep regressing. There is Tristan Casas here. I'm interested to see what happens with him. He had 24 homers back in 2023 when he was the everyday first baseman, and just hasn't really been able to find that again. He's 26 years old now. He's still got some really good power. I'm curious if he develops a little bit down in the minors and we're able to give him another shot. Over at second, you've got Marcelo Mayer, who's 23 years old, B potential, really good prospect. Played 44 games last year at the Bigs. Didn't do great. But really good fielder there at second, can also play third and short, so really nice to have that versatility there with him, B potential. I think he's going to progress very well. And then you also have Christian Campbell, who, another guy, top prospect, played 67 games in the Bigs last year, didn't play great, but I think there's still a lot of potential there for him to develop at only 23 with B potential. I think if the bat gets better, his fielding gets better, I think he could become, a decent player. He's got a ton of secondary positions, so we could definitely find a spot for him if he continues to progress. At third base, we have Caleb Durbin, who I didn't realize until I saw his player model up there in the top left. This dude is short. He is 5'6". That dude is tiny. B potential at 26 years old, 75 overall, really good vision, good contact hitter, decent fielder over there at third, can also play second and short, so nice to have that versatility there. At short, we have Trevor Story, who finally had a decent season with the Red Sox last year in 2025 after just being injured as all get out his first 3 seasons there. Hit 25 homers, had a 741 OPS, which isn't, Trevor Story that we saw in Colorado, but, pretty good. We're paying him $23 million a year. I'm interested to see what he does at 33 years old if he starts regressing. we'll probably look to trade him. We do have, some younger guys and prospects here at short that might be able to come up in a couple of years. Or, maybe Christian Campbell or Marcelo Mayer move over to short at some point. In the outfield, you've got Jarren Duran, who's probably the best overall hitter on this team. Also a really good fielder there in left. Played really, really well last year. 41 doubles, 13 triples, 16 homers, a 774 OPS. He's got a couple of years of arbitration left. He's B potential at only 29, so he could progress even more, probably up to like an 88 or so, I would figure. And then you also have Roman Anthony. This is kind of the star. This is the guy that all Red Sox fans are kind of putting all of their hopes onto. Really good hitter, had a good run last year in the second half of the season, played 71 games, had an 859 OPS, A potential at 82 overall, 21 years old, decent fielder, decent speed. I really want that bat to come along a little bit more, but he's going to be starting every day for us in the outfield. Masataka Yoshida, I don't understand what happened with him because he hits well. The slug isn't very high, but he's more of a contact guy. Very poor fielder, so you kind of have to DH him, which they kind of need for one of their other outfielders. So he's kind of the odd man out, it feels like a lot of times. He's getting 18 mil a year. We're probably going to look to trade him if we're not able to find a spot for him in the lineup, I think. In center field, you have Rafaela, the former middle infielder, who can still play those positions. 99 fielding ability is insane, so he's an incredible fielder. Really good against lefties. The bat continues to come along. I think he could be another, cornerstone of the franchise. And then out in right, you have Wilyer Abreu, who's been, kind of the top hitter for the Red Sox the last couple of years. Decent power bat against righties, also a very good fielder. This outfield is very, very good fielding-wise. But that is the team. Let's see, are there any contract extensions? So Chapman wants 16 mil a year. Probably not going to give him that. And I don't think I'm going to extend any of these guys. Duran wants 23 mil a year. I think I could probably get him cheaper in arbitration for the next couple of years. So we're probably just going to let him go to arbitration. Wilyer Abreu at 26 only wants, it's less than 15 mil a year to get locked up for 5 years. Kind of want to see how he does this season because he's not very good against lefties. So I think I might move on from him at some point or give Roman Anthony the everyday right fielding spot. But we'll have to wait and see about that. All right, lineup going into season one, we're going to have Duran in center leading off, and then behind him we have Story, who against righties is going to DH. I'll explain that in a second. Abreu out in right bats third. Contreras at first cleans up. Roman Anthony in left bats fifth. Rafaela at second bats sixth. Marcelo Mayer is going to play shortstop, mainly so we can get, him, Rafaela, and Durbin all playing in the infield against righties because they're all pretty good against righties. And then, Mayer at short, Narvaez at catcher, Durbin at third. Then against the lefties, we still have Duran in center. Story goes and plays short. Anthony moves up to third as Abreu moves down to seventh. And we've got Contreras. Romy Gonzalez comes in to DH because he's really good against lefties. 88 contact, 73 power against lefties. Also has really good clutch. Rafaela is at second. Marcelo Mayer, not really good against lefties, so he kind of is the odd man out at this point. And then Durbin and Narvaez. So that is how the lineups are going to look. And then pitching rotation, we've got Crochet, Suarez, Gray, Bello, and Early. Sandoval is the long reliever. We've got Slayton, Moran, Crawford, Hope, Whitlock, Colomb, and Chapman in the bullpen. Let's go ahead and start simulating and see how we do here in season one. All right, midway point of season one here. Let's go check and see if any of our guys made the All-Star team. And Nathan Eovaldi with the Rangers gets the start for the American League. Garrett Crochet's here as the number 2. He's having a phenomenal season so far. Nice to see him make another All-Star team. And Chapman is here as well. He has 28 saves, 3 blown saves, but only a 1.34 ERA. He's having another phenomenal year. And then in the lineup, let's see if we got any of our guys here. Jarren Duran is here. He's having a good year. 29 doubles, 48 RBIs, 822 OPS, 19 stolen bases. He's on the bench there, and I think that's probably our only guy. Yeah, it is. So 3 All-Stars so far this year, not bad at overall. Currently 5 games back in the AL East. Let's see how we're doing in the wild card. We currently hold the third wild card spot. 3 games up on the A's. And yeah, overall, team looks like it's doing pretty good. Contreras is having a great year. Roman Anthony's doing all right. He's only progressed a little bit, but these guys seem to be doing pretty good. And as I'm sitting here recording this, Jet Passon just tweeted out, the Red Sox fired manager Alex Cora, hitting coach Peter Fast, bench coach Ramon Vasquez, and game planning coach Jason Varitek. While the Red Sox won today, they are 10-17 and last in the AL East. Massive changes coming in Boston. Third base coach Kyle Hudson was also let go by Boston. Less than a month into the season, Red Sox are almost fully overhauling coaching staff. Alex Cora is out with nearly 2 years remaining on his deal. Wholesale changes have come to Boston. Wow. So the whole coaching staff is out. Do we? I mean, they don't have good ratings here. Let's go ahead and get rid of the hitting coach because, I mean, negatives across the board might as well. Oh, and this guy's really good. So yeah, hire him as our hitting coach. All right, draft picks in year 1, not as good as I was hoping. This starter's actually looking really good. He's already a 71 overall at 18 years old, has 91 potential, already a top 100 prospect, but we'll see if he actually develops. This first baseman, 50 overall, only 83 potential. I mean, just the picks weren't great. We only had 5 total picks. They just weren't great outside of that top one. See if anyone crazy got picked. It doesn't seem like anyone really crazy got picked. Seemed like a pretty weak draft class in general. Got some guys we could extend here, like Chapman. He only wants 12.5 for a couple more years. Let me actually do 1 year 14. He wants a little bit more. We can go up to 15. Okay, so we'll bring him back for 1 more year because he's doing really, really well this year. And I think that's going to be it for us. Let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the season and see how we finish. We're kind of mid rest of the way. We ended up missing the playoffs, but we did finish above 500. We want to see how badly we missed. So we ended up 9 back in the AL East, and then for the wild card, we ended up 3 games back of the Blue Jays. Okay, so not terrible. To see how the lineup did. Jarren Duran was an all-star this year. He's up from an 84 to an 88. Played in 147 games, 58 doubles. Good grief. 24 homers, 96 RBIs, 28 stolen bases, a 288 average, 869 OPS, and 4.9 WAR. Just an incredible year for him as our leadoff guy. Trevor Story with another, pretty decent year. Played 161 games, 30 doubles, 28 homers, 33 stolen bases. Does he still have the wheels? Oh, he does. I didn't realize he was still, decent at stealing bases. Okay. We'll take 33 stolen bases from him. Only put up 1.1 WAR. Defense didn't seem that bad. Interesting. Also, I didn't see if Duran got any other awards this year. So we got the All-Star appearance, but that was it. Wilyer Abreu, decent year. Goes up from an 82 to an 83. 141 games, 28 doubles, 24 homers, 756 OPS, puts up 2.3 WAR. Wilson Contreras had a really, really good year for him. This is a big step up. I'd say probably the best year of his career. 136 games, 33 doubles, 31 homers, 296 average, 903 OPS, puts up 5.3 WAR. His potential's gone up to an A. That's interesting. He also got a gold glove. Interesting. Went up from an 81 to an 84 at age 33, so he'll definitely be back next year for us. Roman Anthony goes up from an 82 to an 85. Has a decent year. 139 games, 30 doubles, 22 homers, 767 OPS, 2.1 WAR. Not, as dominant as we were probably hoping for, but maybe next year he kind of takes that next step. Rafaela, went up from an 84 to an 86. The bat wasn't phenomenal. 36 doubles is good, but a 219 average, 633 OPS, 1.6 WAR is not great. My year did all right, nothing crazy, 697 OPS. Durbin had a pretty good year. Narvaez actually had a decent year. Goes from a 79 to a 70, or 77 to a 79. His potential goes up. Okay, I'll take that from my catcher. Connor Wong had a rough year. IKF did all right as a utility guy. Romy Gonzalez did pretty good, 72 games, 7 homers, 692 OPS. Okay, so the lineup wasn't incredible, but it wasn't awful either. Garrett Crochet was really, really good, was an all-star, 13 wins, 200 innings, 206 strikeouts, 3 3.31 ERA, 4.9 WAR. Was an all-star this year. Ranger Suarez had a really good first year here in Boston. 195 innings, 169 strikeouts, 3.68 ERA. Sonny Gray was really, really good. 174 strikeouts and 187 innings. Bello, not bad. 4 ERAs, all right. And then Early had a pretty good rookie season. Went up from a 78 to an 81. You know, started all 32 starts, 173 innings, 128 strikeouts. I mean, I'll take that from him. And then Peyton Toll came up near the end of the year. He went from a 78 to an 83, playing most of the year down in the minors. Did a little bit of work out of the bullpen. And the bullpen in general was pretty darn good. Whitlock, a bit of a rough year. Chapman was really, really good. He's only down to an 89. Had 41 saves. He's now over 400 career saves on his career. Had some league leaders. Jaron Duran led the league in doubles. Who led it in homers? Ohtani had 52. Alonso with 51. Cal Raleigh with 49. And then Pete Alonso gets AL MVP and Ohtani gets NL MVP. And then our top prospect at this point is Franklin Arias, number 20 prospect, drafted went undrafted. He has B potential. He's up to a 67 overall. All right, let's simulate to the offseason. Dodgers end up beating the Yankees in the World Series. Tommy Canley retires, which is good because now we don't have to pay him any more money. I think he had another year on his contract. Scherzer retires. Verlander retires. And Scherzer and Verlander both go into the Hall of Fame. Do I want to bring any of these guys back? I mean, Danny Cologne, 35 holds, 62 innings, 58 strikeouts, 3.18 ERA. Did go down from a 78 to a 75. What's he want? 6 mil? I'm probably going to pass on that. Sandoval actually went up from a 73 to a 75, pitching down in the minor, or pitching out of the bullpen for us. It's actually pretty good. If he wants... Oh, he wants starter money. He wants to be a starter. No, not happening. And then IKF, 5 mil for a couple more years of utility. I'll take that. I'll give you that. Staff, we are going to fire Alex Cora, and going to fire this first base coach. Going to fire the third base coach. Let's go get us a decent manager. Okay, so in the offseason, there was no luck in free agency. I was not having any luck trying to trade, and I finally got a trade for Brent Rooker, who's going to be our new, probably DH, I would say. Got rid of Sonny Gray, who was phenomenal last year. He was great, but he went down from an 87 to an 82, and he's going to be making 25 mil. He had 1 year left on his deal, 37 years old. I figured he wasn't going to be good. Christian Campbell was never going to do anything for us. The bat just wasn't there. He's progressing all right, but not fast enough. I feel like he's not going to be able to get up in time to, make a difference in this rebuild. And then Trevor Story, he's making 23 mil. He had a good year, but the OPS was still under 700. Only 1 WAR. I think bringing in Brent Rooker, who went up from an 86 to a 90 overall, hit 37 homers, had an 815 OPS to be our new DH, while making only 12 mil a year for the rest of this rebuild, is a phenomenal move, and it frees up a lot of money for us to use in free agency here. Now we can go after basically whoever we want. I would kind of like a third really good starter. I think Chris Bubich might be the guy, and then I also want to throw Suarez and Lowe back on here, see if I can get their motivation up eventually. All right, contract decision incoming here for Chris Bubich. I offered him a pretty decent deal. Ooh, and he says no. Did he sign with someone else? He has not. Okay, good. We offered him 7 years, 30 mil a year. It's now or never on Glaber. How'd he do? 26 homers last year, 825 OPS. It's not bad, actually. Wanting 5 years, only 15 mil. Because then I could move Rafaela over to short, let Glaber play second. See if he decides to take this. I don't think he does. No, he goes to the A's. And Eugenio Suarez is not going to end up coming here, I think. We'll throw an extra year on there. 8 years, 30 mil. See if we can get Bubich. And then really no one else really that I'm super interested in. There's Alec Boehm here. Cedric Mullins, Ha-Seong Kim, Willie Castro. No one else I'm super interested in. Ennis Santana develops really well in simulation. He just had a really bad last year. All right, contract decision coming back again for Bubich. See if we get him this time. I think we do. Yeah, we do. Okay, so that's a really good addition, a good replacement for Sonny Gray. 8 years, 30 mil a year. That's not bad at all, I don't think. Okay, so something weird's going on because Anthony Santander's available in the Rule 5 draft. I'd like to take him. I don't know where we would put him. Also, Jake Cousins here. Huh. Could add him to the team, but like, where would we even play him? Yeah, there's really no spot for him now with Rooker being our full-time DH. Interesting. Very interesting. I think we just skipped the Rule 5. All right, one more contract decision incoming. Let's see if we get this guy. We've been working on him for a while. For a one-year deal item, he doesn't sign, and he doesn't sign anywhere yet. He turns down 1 year, 22 mil. Britt Stevenson wants to come here. Wants 5 mil, not interested. Kind of want to throw like 1 year, 23 at Suarez. Really want him at third. He says no again. Okay, damn. He just does not want to sign. Honestly, like, I don't know. Because Rafael is going to play second. Mayer is going to be at short. Durbin at third. Do we give these guys another year to develop is the question. But here's the thing. Even with Suarez, I can move him to first if Contreras plays bad. I think Contreras will be good again this year, but if he's not, move Suarez over there. Or like if Abreu's bad, I can put Suarez at DH. This is tough. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I kind of want to give Mayer and Durbin another year to see how they do and develop. But I mean, Suarez hit 40 homers. Yeah, 48 home runs last year. Went up from an 86 to an 88. Like, you can't pass that up. So I'm going to give him 25 mil. This is my final offer. If he doesn't take this, we're going to move on. But if he takes this, we'll start him at third this year. There we go. Okay, so we got Suarez. He's going to be here for 1 year, and we'll just see how he does. Hopefully he hits, another 40 homers, and that's going to be it for our offseason. All right, lineup going into season 2 against righties. Duran leads off in left. Rooker DHs. Suarez plays third. Abreu cleans up batting fourth in right field. Contreras at first bats fifth. Roman Anthony in center field. Actually, no, we need Duran in center, and then Anthony in the left at sixth. Narvaez catches bat seventh. Mayer at second. That's eighth. And then Rafaela is our new shortstop. He's batting ninth. And then against lefties, Duran still leads off. Rooker now goes out to right field because we sit Abreu because he's really bad against lefties. That allows us to bring in Casas as the DH. Contreras at first, bats third. Then Anthony, Suarez, Casas, Narvaez, Durbin at second. Rafaela at short. Rotation is going to be Crochet, Suarez, Bubic, and then Toll and Early. So they're both going to be in the rotation fully this year. That means Bello, who was good last year, becomes a trade candidate for us. And also is a long reliever, along with Cutter Crawford, who won 10 mil in arbitration. So yeah, they're both gonna try to get traded this year. Actually, I may try and see if I can do a trade here before we even start simulating. I wasn't really able to find anything, so let's just start simulating and see how we do here in season 2. All right, midway point of season 2. So we got off to a bit of a slow start, but through May and June, we got like really hot. We were 8 back at one point in the AL East. Now we're 1 game up on the Yanks. Let's go see who made the All-Star team for us. Brian Wu is getting the start for the American League. Joe Ryan's here, who we tried to trade for like crazy in the offseason and weren't able to get him. Let's see, we got Chapman here, so he's an all-star again. He has dropped down from an 89 to an 84, so this is probably his last year with us, but he still has 30 saves, a really good ERA, so he's still doing really well for us. And then in the lineup, let's see, do we have anyone? Jarren Duran's here again. His potential is up to an A, and he's gone up to an 89 overall. He's got 25 doubles, already 24 homers on the year, 302 average, 932 OPS, 4.5 WAR on the season so far, so he's having a great year. Gleyber Torres is here, who we tried to sign in the offseason. He's doing really good for the A's. I think that is it for... Nope, Brent Rooker's here, so that was a really good trade for us. He's gone up from a 90 to a 92 this year. He's got 24 doubles, 21 homers, and an 867 OPS, so he's doing really well in the DH position for us. Yeah, overall, the lineup is looking pretty good, I would say, at this point. Pretty happy with how everyone is performing, and the rotation started off weak but has really turned it around here, and I think we're doing pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how we're doing, so I don't think I'm really going to make any changes. We're going to sign our draft picks and then move on. Okay, much better draft here in year 2. We got this first baseman, 18 years old with 88 potential. He's 61 overall. I'm really hoping that bat develops. Most of his overall right now is from the fielding, which was really, really high. I'm hoping the bat develops. I'm not sure if it actually will, though. We got Robert Doe starting starter, 18 years old with A potential. Got a shortstop here. He's only 48 overall. He's already 22 years old, but he does have 89 potential, so we'll see what happens with him. And then a couple of other guys. Again, we don't have a ton of picks. We only had 5 picks here. Let's see if any other crazy guys got picked. Okay, wow. The Reds had a really good draft. They got this 23-year-old starter, 75 overall already with 86 potential, and then this closer with 90 potential, 72 overall at 22 years old. Brewers had a couple of good picks there. Ooh, the Cardinals got 3 really high potential guys. Padres got a first baseman with 98 potential. Giants got a couple of guys with high potential, but really low overall. So that's pretty much it for the draft picks. And then at this point, I mean, we're 66 and 48, 1 game up on Baltimore. We're doing really well this year. Let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the season and see how we do. All right, so at the end of season 2, we finished 93 and 69 to win the AL East. We'll be taking on the winner of the wild card game. We are the number 2 seed in the AL behind only Minnesota. But check out the lineup, see how they did. Jarren Duran had a phenomenal year, all the way up to a 90 overall. Played in 157 games, 48 doubles, 12 triples, 34 home runs, 96 RBIs, 18 stolen bases, a 913 OPS, and 6.6 WAR. He got an All-Star appearance, and he won his first Silver Slugger award. Brent Rooker was a phenomenal trade. Went up from a 90 to a 94 overall. Played all 162 as our DH, 31 doubles, 47 homers, 94 RBIs, a 916 OPS, 4.2 WAR. Was an All-Star and won his second Silver Slugger award. Roman Anthony, pretty good season. Went up from an 85 to a 90. The power numbers really jumped up, especially against lefties. It went from 68 to 81. He's becoming a much better power hitter. 145 games, 30 doubles, 34 homers, 80 RBIs, 830 OPS, and 4.6 WAR. Also got a Gold Glove out in left field, which is nice to see. Eugenio Suarez did exactly what we wanted him to do. Came in, hitting another 47 homers, 119 RBIs in 150 games, 847 OPS, 2.7 WAR. Was not an all-star. How many home runs is he at? He's at 420 home runs. Nice. I don't know if we bring him back next year because he is regressing. Went down from an 88 to an 85. I mean, those power numbers are still really good, so we'll see. Rafael, at first full season over at shortstop, did pretty well. 154 games, 38 doubles, 19 homers, 57 RBIs, 723 OPS, 3.5 WAR, and did not get a Gold Glove this year. Contreras started to regress a bit. Wasn't as good as he was last year, but still all right. 140 games, 28 doubles, 21 homers, 743 OPS, and 2.3 WAR. Wilyer Abreu in his platoon role, 122 games, 27 doubles, 19 homers, 790 OPS, and 2.9 WAR. I think we may look to move on from him in the offseason. Carlos Narvaez was actually really, really good this year. 134 games, 23 homers, a 282 average, and an 818 OPS. I will take that from my catcher. A 5.6 WAR on the season. That is a great season for him. And then Marcelo Mayer at second. Played really, really well. 115 games, 21 doubles, 21 homers, 254 average, 788 OPS, 2.1 WAR. Durbin, played 79 games. Did all right. A 734 average, up from an 80 to an 82. We'll see what his role is with the team moving forward. Casas got into 49 games, hit 7 homers, 731 OPS. The power numbers continue to go up, so maybe he gets a little bit of run eventually. And then Romy Gonzalez only got into 4 games this year. Pitching wise, Crochet had another really good year. He started off a bit rough, but really turned it around. 17 wins, 211 innings, 235 strikeouts, a 3.10 ERA, 3.9 WAR. Won Cy Young this year, so we got a Cy Young award winner. That's awesome to see. Ranger Suarez, another phenomenal year for him. 15 wins, 198 innings, 191 strikeouts, a 2.9 ERA, and 4.2 WAR. Chris Bubich did all right, not great. 169 innings, 151 strikeouts. The ERA is high at 4.25, but not terrible. Peyton Toll did really good this year, as did Connolly Early. Brayan Bella was not good out of the pen at all. But the rest of the bullpen looks pretty good. Crochet, Whitlock's but Chapman pretty good. 45 saves, 6 blown saves is all right, but he's at 450 career saves now. This is probably going to be it for him with us. League leaders, Garrett Crochet led the league in strikeouts and innings pitched. Jarren Duran led the league in triples. Who led in homers this year? Gunnar Henderson hit 52. Judge hit 40. 449. He's at 460 now on his career. And Ohtani hit 47. And then we've got Rooker and Suarez here who both hit 47 as well. Then awards, Crochet gets Cy Young. Aaron Judge gets AL MVP. Suarez finishes third. And yeah, Contreras got the gold glove over at first. And then Roman Anthony got the gold glove in left. Silver Slugger for DH went to Brent Rooker. And Silver Slugger in the outfield went to Jarren Duran. All right, so in the ALDS, we're going to be taking on the Texas Rangers. Game one, we've got Garrett Crochet on the mound against Jack Leiter. We win that 3-0. Now we've got Ranger Suarez against Nick Lodolo. We win 6-2, so one game away from going to the ALCS. Chris Bubich against Mackenzie Gore. We lose that one 6-7. Now we've got Peyton Toll against Zach Littell. We lose 3-0, so we're going to a game 5 with Crochet against Lodolo, and we win it 4-3. So Crochet gets us the big dub that we were needing. All right, now taking on Minnesota in the ALCS. Minnesota was the 1 seed in the AL, so they have home field advantage here. We've got Ranger Suarez against Bailey Ober in game 1. We win 4-1. Chris Bubich against Joe Ryan in game 2. We win 4-1. So going back to Boston for 3, we just need 2 of these to move on to the World Series. Peyton Toll against Tatsuya Amai. We win 4-2. One game away from the sweep with Garrett Crochet on the mound against Taj Bradley. We lose 9-4. Ranger Suarez against Joe Ryan here to go to the World Series, and we do it. We will be taking on Atlanta in the World Series here. So game 1 of the World Series is going to be Garrett Crochet against Chris Sale in Atlanta. We win that one 4-3. Game 2, Ranger Suarez against Spencer Schrellenbach. We lose 5-3. Now going back to Boston for 3 games. Chris Bubich against Jack Flaherty. We win 10-2. Peyton Toll against Spencer Strider. We lose 6-7. Crochet back on the bump against Chris Sale. Critical game 5. We win 5-3. We just need 1 out of these 2 in Atlanta. Ranger Suarez against Spencer Schrellenbach. We win it 12-3, and that does it. The Boston Red Sox are World Series champions. That feels awful coming out of my mouth, but hey, we did our job. Okay, let's go see who got the awards here. World Series MVP goes to Wilson Contreras. Nice. And then playoff MVP goes to Roman Anthony. Contreras hit 350 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs in the World Series. And then Roman Anthony throughout the playoffs hit 289, 2 homers and 5 RBIs. So an awesome playoff run there through the Rangers, the Twins, and then finally the Braves to win it in 6. Get our 5th World Series? Or is it the 5th? No. Yeah, 5th World Series since 2004. Wow, crazy. Kenley Jansen and Paul Goldschmidt both go into the Hall of Fame, and we're going to see if we can repeat here. I do think we try to bring back Eugenio Suarez. 1 year, 19 mil. Chapman, he just dropped off so much from an 89 to an 80 at age 40. I just don't think there's room for him on our team anymore. Giolito wants big league money. He's not someone I want on my roster. Brendan Rodgers, don't care about him really. Looks like the new staff did good. All right, we've got a contract decision incoming for someone I think will be our new closer, hopefully. Yes, we got him. Okay, stole him away from the Phillies. Yohan Duran had a phenomenal year. We got him 4 years, 15 mil a year. Went up from an 88 to an 89. He's only 30 years old. Okay, and he had 41 saves with only 4 blown saves, a 2.09 ERA, 72 strikeouts in 73 innings. I think that is a great replacement for Aroldis Chapman. Now I am looking at Joe Adell as a possible replacement for Wilyer Abreu. 28, bump this up to like 19.5 mil. I think he signs, and then he can play right, which allows Brent Rooker continue to be DHing every day. Joe Adell contract decision. No, doesn't want it quite yet. Okay, interesting. Also, I do want to check the trade block and see if there's anyone here. Hunter Brown is here. Logan Webb. So there are some big name guys here. Josh Hader. He's pretty easy to trade for, actually. Yordan Alvarez, traded for him in the Pirates rebuild, I believe. Cole Reagans is here. He is owed another year of arbitration, but I don't really need pitching. Because if you look at the team, all I really need is maybe, actually, I don't even want to improve at second. I think the only hole we have is Wilyer Abreu is the only thing where we can like significantly increase. Maybe Riley Green. That might be a good one because then Roman Anthony can move to right. Let's see, what can we trade? We can trade you Bello. He was not good last year. And let's see, who else could I trade? I could trade Weissert. I don't want to trade Contreras. Well, he's going to regress this year, but he was just our World Series MVP. Casas, Contreras. I don't know if I trust him at first. That Contreras is actually a good fielder over at first. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We can throw in Romy Gonzalez. Oh, wait, they want prospects. Plug in Yolan Cespedes and Franklin Arias, because he is top 50 prospect. We'll see if that gets me Riley Green and Josh Hader. Yeah, let's get a little. It's the final year of the rebuild. Let's go a little crazy here and just see if we can break the trade logic. Oh my gosh, they actually did it. They gave me Josh Hader and Riley Green for Brian Bello, Franklin Arias, Yolan Cespedes, and Greg Reisert. Oh my god. I bet I have to go offer arbitration. Arbitration has been offered. So we have offered him $17.5 million in arbitration. I'll throw you a long-term contract as well. So now we have both Hader and Duran. So Duran's just going to be a regular reliever, while Hader is the closer, because Hader is so good. Oh my goodness. What's our budget look like now, though? We still have $38 million available. So I'm no longer interested in Joe Adell. And he goes to the Tigers. So the Tigers trade Riley Green and replace him with Joe Adell, 6 years, $21 million a year. And like, really, I think I'm good now, because we're pretty good everywhere now. Like, I don't really have it. There's no holes in this team anymore. So all I need to do is I need to make Roman Anthony our right fielder, and let's sim the rest of the offseason, I guess. All right, lineup going into the final year, season 3. Jarren Duran in center leads off. Brent Rooker DHs bats second. Roman Anthony moves over to right field and bats third. Suarez at third bats fourth. Riley Green in left bats fifth. Wilson Contreras at first bats sixth. Marcelo Mayer bats seventh, playing second. Narvaez catches, bats eighth, and then Rafaela at short bats ninth. And then against lefties, Gonzalez comes in at second for Marcelo. He bats fifth. Riley Green moves down to sixth. Contreras bats seventh. Rafaela bats eighth, and then Narvaez bats ninth. Pitching rotation for this year, same as last year. And then, of course, we have, Whitlock, Duran, and Hader in the bullpen, along with Slayton, Oviedo, and Moran. We have any lefties in the pen? Okay, we do, yeah. Okay, good. We have lefties in the pen. I wasn't sure for a second. I think actually we can send down... Who do we send down? Do we send down Casas? I think we send down Durbin, because Romy Gonzalez can play the whole field. So yeah, I think Durbin gets sent down to bring up another pitcher. All right, so let's see how we do here in season 3 and see if we can repeat as World Series champions. We're the second ranked team, third in contact, first in power now, second in pitching, 6th defense, 24th in speed. Let's see how we do here. All right, midway point of season 2, we're 58-38, 6 games up in the AL East. Let's go take a look at the all-star teams and see who made it for us this year. Brian Wu gets the start for the second year in a row for the AL, and I don't see any of our... Oh, there we go. We got Josh Hader, who's doing phenomenal for us as our new closer. And then on the lineup, Labor's here for the second straight year. Gosh, we really should have got him in free agency. He's doing phenomenal. Brent Rooker's here again. He's starting to regress down from a 94 to a 93 at age 33. Okay, so that kind of makes sense, but he has 30 doubles, 23 homers, 59 RBIs, and an 887 OPS, so he's still obviously doing very, very well. And it looks like that is it for our all-stars this year. Lineup overall looking pretty good. Roman Anthony not doing great, but he is progressing up to a 92 overall, but the OPS is not great, down to 785. But everyone else seems to be doing, generally okay, nothing crazy. Actually, Romy Gonzalez, 45 games, has a 820 OPS. I think he may... let's just keep the platoon going, I think, at this point. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then the rotation, looking all right. Toll with the ERA over 5. Ooh, these guys are not doing well this year, which sucks to see. Tanner Hoke is actually doing really well out of the pen. The bullpen is incredible this year, which is awesome to see, because that's usually been one of our weaker points. Okay, season 3 turned out to be our best season, as we won 103 games, won the division for the second year in a row. We are the 1 seed in the American League. Let's go take a look at how everyone did. Jarren Duran, not as good as last year, but still a very good season. 159 games, 41 doubles, 12 triples, 26 home runs, 21 stolen bases, 81 RBIs, and 834 OPS, puts up 6.64. He's at 34.9 WAR now in his career at just age 31. Interesting to see how he continues to play. Brent Rooker, another phenomenal year, actually ended up going back up. We saw him regressing a little bit near the All-Star break, actually ended up going up to a 95 overall at age 33. Played all 162, 48 doubles, 43 homers, 114 RBI, 17 stolen bases as well, 299 average, 942 OPS, 5.4 WAR for a guy we're paying $12 million a year. Not bad. All-Star appearance and a Silver Slugger this year again. Roman Anthony kind of turned it around in the second half, 144 games, 28 doubles, 31 homers, 87 RBIs, and 844 OPS and 5 WAR out and right. Also got him a Gold Glove this year again. Eugenio Suarez, another really good year, even though he regressed down from an 85 to an 81 at age 36. He played 142 games for us, hit 36 homers. He's now at over 450 career homers, 94 RBIs, a 778 OPS, and 1.2 WAR. This probably would have been our last year having him on the team. We probably would have moved back to Caleb Durbin or someone else. Riley Green, first year on the team, was really, really good. 155 games, 27 doubles, 34 homers, 95 RBIs, and 881 OPS and 5.4 WAR out in left. Wilson Contreras, man, hanging on, actually went up from an 83 to an 84 at age 35, 134 games, 23 doubles, 28 homers, 84 RBIs. He's now over 250 career homers, 279 average, 850 OPS, 3.1 WAR. He'll be a free agent after this year. Marcelo Mayer went up from an 82 to an 84, played 122 games, 23 doubles, 16 homers, 769 OPS, 1.8 WAR. Carlos Narvaez, not as good as last year. The overall and the potential dip this year, 131 games. The OPS was below 700, so yeah, wasn't able to recreate what he did last year. And then Rafaela, 154 games, 37 doubles, 22 homers. This is what we wanted to see out of him. 736 OPS, 3.6 WAR. Really, really nice. Willie Abreu coming off the bench, only got into 29 games, but still hit 5 homers. Yeah, just not a big year on the bench. We kind of just had our guys set. Romy Gonzalez got into quite a few games though, platooning at second, 79 games, 16 homers, had a 868 OPS. So we would probably end up moving him over to third, I think, or maybe Mayer over to third since he's the better fielder, and then let Romy Gonzalez be the full-time second baseman moving forward. Crochet had a really good year, 203 innings again, another 17-win season, so he's over 1,000 career innings, 211 strikeouts, a 3.46 ERA, 4 WAR on the year. Did not win a Cy Young again this year, but I mean, he's only 28 years old and he's just killing it right now. Ranger Suarez, another phenomenal year. Bubic, really good. Toll turned it around in the second half, as did early, so that was really big that those guys came back and had decent years. And then the bullpen looks pretty good. Duran did all right, went up from an 86 to an 87. The ERA is a bit high, but 43 holds, 8 blown saves. Yikes. But 60 strikeouts in 65 innings. Not bad. Whitlock, okay. And then Hader, man. 71 games, 49 saves, 70 innings, 84 strikeouts, a 2.43 ERA, 1.5 WAR. Really good year. League leaders, Garrett Crochet led the league in wins. Hader led it in saves. And then Roman Anthony led the league in walks. And Corey Seager led Major League Baseball with 53 homers at age 33. I guess I thought Seager was older. I guess I thought he was already in his mid-30s. Huh, weird. And then Judge hit 49. He's now at 509 career homers. Cunha hits 48. Then awards this year, Josh Hader gets Delivery Man of the Year. Roman Anthony gets a Gold Glove. Seager gets AL MVP. And then AL Cy Young goes to Hunter Brown, with Garrett Crochet finishing second. So in the ALDS, we're going to be taking on our division rival, the Toronto Blue Jays. We've got Garrett Crochet on the bump against Dylan Cease. In game 1, we win at 5-1. Ranger Suarez against Trey Yasavage. We win at 7-4. 2-0 lead, 1 game away from going back to the ALCS. Bubic against Shane Bieber. We win at 3-1, and we sweep. Now we'll be taking on the Texas Rangers, who had the MVP in Corey Seager. We knocked them out last year in the ALDS. We've got Garrett Crochet on the bump against Pablo Lopez. Game 1 in Boston, we win at 10-1. Chris Bubic against Jack Leiter in game 2. We win 15-1, so we've outscored them 25-2 in those first 2 games. Peyton Toll against Sandy Alcantara in game 3. We win at 12-5. Ranger Suarez against Pablo Lopez in game 4. We win at 9-8. We outscore them in 4 games. We outscore them 46-18 to go back to the World Series and set up a rematch with Atlanta. So game 1 here, Garrett Crochet on the bump against Spencer Schwellenbach. We win at 4-3. Ranger Suarez against Jack Flaherty in game 2. We lose 5-7. Now going to Atlanta for 3 games. We've got Chris Bubic up against Spencer Strider. We win 8-3. Peyton total against Spencer Schwellenbach. We win 8-4, one game away from back-to-back World Series championships. Garrett Crochet against an old Zach Wheeler, and there we go, we did it. We beat Atlanta in back-to-back years to win 2 consecutive World Series championships. We only lost 1 game in the entire playoffs the second time. We went, what is that, 11-1? That's like 2001 Lakers, where they only lost the 1 game in the finals and they swept the other series. That is insane. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Incredibly dominant performance. One of the most dominant baseball teams ever, you could say. Roman Anthony gets World Series MVP. Marcelo Mayer gets playoff MVP. Roman Anthony, 421 average, 4 home runs and 9 RBIs in the World Series. He had 13 RBIs throughout the whole playoffs. Mayer, 375 average, 2 homers and 11 RBIs. Incredibly dominant performance, incredible rebuild, incredible video. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, again, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel. We are, I think at this point, 67 subs away from hitting 1,000. My HDMI splitter messes up there. But again, thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.